Now that we know what a production assistant is and the different jobs and duties that a production assistant does on a film set, I'm going to actually break down the different types of production assistants that you may encounter or you read about or you just want to learn some more information about. So let's start off with the key set PA. The key set production assistant is usually the production assistant that has the most experience, been on a lot of different shows and movies, or the second assistant director brought them on because they know how to handle the job. So for the key set PA, their main job is to be over all the other production assistants and knowing where they're at, where their lockups, what's going on. So the key set, although they get the same pay as the other production assistant, their job is very crucial to helping production move smoothly and go on, because a lot of the crew usually turn to the key set PA to figure out what's going on, what's needed, where we're at on the script. So the key set PA is very crucial to knowing all the information, what's going on. It's a very important job. Another type of production assistant is the first team production assistant, or the first team PA. Now, this job is just as critical as being the key set PA. So the first team PA, your job is to make sure that the actors, you're there when the actors get to set. Your job is to make sure the actors are aware of what's going on, what's being communicated from set while they're going through their hair and makeup. And your job also is to keep them on time. So you're watching the time, you're watching the actors, you're communicating with the hair, makeup, wardrobe, and knowing what time that the actors need to be on set. And you're communicating with production to let them know if it's taking a little bit long or how much time that they need while there's lighting and the DP and the director are getting their shot set up. So your job is to, as the first team PA, is to get all the actors through all the works and all that stuff, and then you want to make sure that they get on the transportation or however close they are from set, or whatever vehicle needed for them to get to set, that you get them on there and you get them to set, and then you make sure that they're aware of what shot's going on, what scene they're working on. So your job is to relay the information that's coming from set to the actors and from the actors back to set. So now that we know what a first team PA does, let's talk about the background PA. The background production assistant, your job is just as similar to what the first team production assistant does, but you're working with background actors. So sometimes background actors, this is their first job, or they're experienced background actors. But your job is to make sure that you communicate what's going on with production. So your job is to get them to set, get them through their hair, makeup, if it's one of those shows, or if it's a period piece. And some days you may have like 2 background actors, and other days you may have 10 to 20 to 30 background actors. But your job is to communicate what's going on, get them do whatever hair, makeup, whatever they need to do, wardrobe, get them to set, and then get them from set, and just keep them in their area. As the background PA is just as important as what a first team PA does, as far as giving the information and making sure that the background actors and the extras know what production is doing today, where they're needed, what time, or if they're in a certain group, you have to separate them, or they're in another group, and just keeping them good, keeping them flowing, because sometimes background actors are on set just as long as the crew without even doing anything. They're sitting there waiting. And sometimes, if you've been on a production set, or if you haven't been on a production, sometimes things get delayed. We're supposed to be out of a shot within 2 hours, but we're still filming on another shot. So as a background PA, your job is be able to listen to your walkie, know what's going on, be able to respond, because sometimes you may be far away from the actual set and you may not actually be on set. You may be wherever they're holding the background. So now that we know the first team PA does, what the key set PA does, the background PA does, another type is a walkie PA. So your job is to distribute walkies to the crew members and keep up with the numbers, and walkies can get lost, walkies can get damaged. So production spent a lot of money on these walkies to give out to the crew. So your job is to distribute. Usually on the first day you give it out, but you need to know what serial number, what numbers are important. As far as when production or the show is over, your job is to make sure that you maintain and get those walkies back from every single crew member. And although that's not the only thing that you do, you give out the walkies and then you become a regular set PA, or you're just another PA that's on set on a walk-up, or just able to go out and help production and whatever is needed on set. So usually the walkie PA sometimes is usually the runner if they have to go down to the production office to get the preliminary schedules or the call sheets or whatever is needed. You're usually sometimes the runner or somebody that's off on a lockup somewhere, just keeping crew from coming to set. So usually on the bigger sets, those are usually the main roles of the production assistant, but there are additional production assistants where, like I said, your job is to be on a lockup, or sometimes some departments, not likely, but sometimes departments may use a PA to help them out, if sound or camera or somebody. These departments may or may not ask for a production assistant to help them out because of various different reasons. Sometimes, like I said, it's not usually likely, but on a bigger set, maybe on like a smaller independent project, they may bring PAs to come be a camera assistant. Sometimes Crafty needs help and they need a PA to come carry coolers or move things like that. So those are the main jobs of the production assistant on a film set. Like I said, being a production assistant is a very important job, from carrying all the information, distributing, making sure the crew is aware of everything. Sometimes your job is just maintaining safety and passing out vests when we're working on a night shoot, or making sure that the crew knows whatever is needed safety-wise, location-wise. Sometimes the crew was planning to bring in equipment for this day and then something changed in the schedule and you have that information. So it's your job to help production in whatever way possible. Being a production assistant is one of the main roles to get experience in this industry. And like I said, some of your favorite directors, writers, producers started off as production assistants and they made their way. So starting at the bottom, and then you just move your way through the different department. And it's another way to figure out if you want to work in lighting, or if you want to work in the camera department someday, or video or sound, whatever it is. So being a production assistant, you gain experience from each and every opportunity or each and every show, and you build your connections that way. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to hear more from me, like and subscribe, and until next time, thank you.